Good evening, everyone. It's Thursday, October 13th, 2016. I'm Maral Katwari.
And I'm Alexandra Garcia. Welcome to the Local Live.
Rhinebeck votes no to a proposed school renovation project. More details coming up.
The town of Mamaroneck approved a new housing plan for 2017.
A local baker goes to battle at the grand finale of Food Network's Cupcake Wars.
An Out of the Darkness walk at Harbor Island raises funds to prevent suicide.
Restaurant Week is coming to our area. This and more local stories in our segment In the Media.
Do you want to enjoy a night in Argentina? Estancia Buenos Aires in Larchmont takes you there in a blink.
And this week in varsity sports, the Tigers show us their kick.
The Community Resource Center of Larchmont and Mamaroneck has a new leadership team. We have them in our studio tonight, joining Mike Witch for our roundtable.
Tell us what you think. In person, over the phone, online. Watch and hear yourself on TV. You tell us, we air it. This is the Local Live.
Rhinebeck families turned down a proposed $35.5 million school renovation project for the district schools by just 17 votes. According to the superintendent's office, the final vote tally was 380 against 363 for the Capital Bonds project. In an email sent out to the Rhinebeck community, the Rhinebeck Board of Education and administrative team said that they were disappointed in the defeat of the bond, saying, quote, "Our research concluded that basic infrastructure needs, growing enrollment of our district, and commitment to contemporary instructional environments demanded a comprehensive facilities approach. However, we respect our community's reaction to the project and will consider other options to meet these challenges in the coming months." All of Rhinebeck schools' buildings and athletic facilities would have undergone improvements, including new roofs, state-of-the-art collaborative classrooms, studios, labs, and athletic facilities. More than 13.5% of the Rhinebeck project was expected to be financed by the state.
The town of Mamaroneck approved a new plan put forward by the Housing Choice Voucher Program that will help increase fair housing. Anna Denoy spoke at the town council meeting and explained the details. One development in the plan will include a new way to bring in money for the program and ensure quality of life in the apartments. This development dictates that any landlord that does not make proper repairs to keep their apartments up to code will be fined.
We will go out and inspect and find that something doesn't pass the housing quality standards and the unit is failed. And we give the landlord 30 days to make the repairs, and then we send the inspector back out again. HUD now
The season finale of Food Network's Cake Wars will feature New Rochelle baker Jacqueline Dinko and her partner Natasha Jagapot as they fight for a chance to bring home the $10,000 prize. Dinko, a self-taught baker and owner of Caked Out Creations, said to the Daily Voice that if everything goes according to plan, she hopes to spread the love of her own cake studio, ideally in New Rochelle. As a cancer survivor and a nurse, she says she wants to bake a difference. So make sure to watch Cake Wars at 9 p.m. this Monday, October 17th on Food Network to watch the grand finale. But also make sure to tune in to the Local Live next Thursday because Jacqueline and Natasha will be in our studio telling us all about their experience participating at Cake Wars.
Now we have an announcement coming from the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. This organization is hosting a series of Out of the Darkness walks around the country to create awareness and raise funds for suicide prevention programs. This upcoming Sunday, Harbor Island will be the location for the Westchester Walk. The walk will begin at 11 a.m. and will finish at 1:30 p.m. If you want to support the cause and participate in the walk, make sure to go online for more information. Go to www.afsp.donordrive.com.
We want to remind you that tomorrow is the last day to register to vote in New York. Registering is simple. You can even do it online. Make sure to go and create an account at dmv.ny.gov using your driver's license, permit, or your non-driving ID. Sign in, select Register to Vote, and fill out the form. Here's Jack Wells with what's trending in the media.
To find gourmet dining in the Hudson Valley is easy, but to keep money in your pocket while doing so is hard. Starting November 1st, Hudson Valley Restaurant Week will take full effect, with over 200 restaurants participating. To see all the restaurants featured, especially the ones in Larchmont and Mamaroneck, be sure to check out the patch. 9 Westchester residents made the new Forbes 400 Richest People list, from former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg to current presidential candidate Hillary Clinton. Find the complete list on the Mamaroneck Daily Voice. A 21-year-old star lacrosse athlete from Manhattanville College was brutally killed early Sunday morning. Robbie Shartner was struck on Westchester Avenue by Emma Fox of Rye, who was driving under the influence. Fox is also a student at Manhattanville College. For more information on this tragedy, visit LoHUD. Clowns have been popping up throughout the country lately, as it has become the national trend. More recently, there have been sightings in southern Westchester. Authorities were on high alert after there have been creepy clown incidents in Mount Vernon, New Rochelle, and Portchester. To learn more about this, you can visit the Daily Voice. The Ragamuffin Parade will take place on October 22nd in Larchmont, and the Halloween Spooktacular will take place in the village of Mamaroneck on the 23rd, which promises to be fun for the whole family. For more places to visit during this Halloween season, whether it's a walk along a pumpkin-lit path or listening to a Halloween story, the Larchmont Patch has it covered. That's it for this week's In the Media. I'm Jack Wells.
It's time for some local trivia. Then on tonight's roundtable, we will introduce you to the new leadership team at the Community Resource Center, so stay tuned.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's roundtable. I'm Mike Witch. Maura Carlin is off tonight. I'm live in the studio with our guests on Library Lane, and we're about to meet the new leadership team of the Community Resource Center, formerly known as the Hispanic Resource Center. This is a place where you can get help with social and educational services, and workers can get assistance with finding a job and getting trained. So you can join us, by the way, by calling in or emailing or tweeting. And the information about how to contact us will be on your screen throughout this interview. So let's meet our guests, please. I'd like to welcome Gail Vidales, who's sitting next to me. And you are the co-executive director of the Community Resource Center.
That is correct.
And next to you is Jirandy Martinez. You are the co-executive director. You two both work together as executive directors.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. And at the end of the table there is Janet Rolon. You are the deputy executive director.
Yes, I am, and thank you, Mike. It's an honor to be here.
Well, I guess it was about a year ago or so that Milan Bott was here in the studio at our round table, and he was the new executive director of, I guess at that point it was called the Hispanic Resource Center. So what's changed that 3 people have taken the place of 1? Gail?
Sure. Well, I think the important thing here is that internally we had a lot of good talent, a lot of skills, and so what's different is that we don't have 1 executive director, we have 2 and a deputy director. Mm-hmm. So that's the beauty of it, is that there's a lot of expertise already, and so we were really willing and looking forward to improving our services and really to be of service to the whole community.
And we should explain that Milan is made a career transition. He's now in state government, yes?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. He's now the Assistant Deputy Commissioner of for the Department of Labor, and we're really excited for him and really happy to continue our partnership with Milan. It's certainly been a year of transition for the organization. I think we've never stopped transitioning even after Milan came. But our team is strong, and we care about the community, and we've been here for so long, the 3 of us. I think about 20 years combined. So we certainly know what the community needs, and we're just excited for the new phase of the organization.
Well, along those lines, Janet, can you explain what the community does need, what services you provide to people who seek you out?
Okay, Mike. As Deputy Executive Director, I oversee the case management department. Actually, case management has always been the department I work in, and I started as a day labor coordinator. Then I moved, was promoted as a case manager. So I was able to identify the community needs and also to in way of collaborating with our partners in Westchester County, provide more services in-house in Mamaroneck so people don't have to face transportation challenges, for example. So that is something that our department and as a whole agency has been able to secure services because we collaborate not only with the three of us, but also externally with partners that provide services as well.
So transportation, you're talking about to employment?
Transportation to, for example, come to our center or to go to other community-based organizations in Westchester County. For example, we have clients from Yonkers, we have clients from Portchester that sometimes transportation it's not accessible. So we are able, in terms when we collaborate with our partners, we are able to direct them to the nearest places for them to seek services. And sometimes for Mamaroneck, for example, because they don't have to take a bus or a train to come to us, so it's kind of like it works in our area.
Do most of the people come from the Mamaroneck, Larchmont, or beyond our community?
I mean, they come from other places, for example, New Rochelle, White Plains, Yonkers, as I mentioned, Mount Vernon. But of course, most of our clients are Mamaroneck and Larchmont too.
And what are the other services that are offered? There are social services.
Social services. In our department, case management, we provide for the first time direct legal immigration services. I became a BIA accredited representative last year in December of 2015 actually, and we have been able to implement a program where I can represent clients in immigration proceedings, and that save a lot of costs in terms of legal practices, private legal practices fees, and all of that.
Jirandy, what about workers and local employment opportunities? Is that something that people ask you about?
Absolutely, and actually, Gail is overseeing the Worker Center, so she does the Worker Center. I oversee the educational programs, and in terms of empowering the community, not just with services, but also with educational programs in terms of adult literacy, for example. If an adult learner who didn't complete their primary or secondary education in their native country, they can come and learn how to read or write or do their basic learning, elementary and middle school, in Spanish at the center, and then move on to GED or high school equivalency. In fact, this year we graduated 9 students who received their diploma through our GED program with Southern Westchester BOCES. So we have really strong partnerships where students and community members really feel empowered through those programs. And not just that, but we serve children and youth, so we do a lot of youth development. I'm very proud of the program that we've had for our high school students in Rhinebeck and Mamaroneck High School through partnerships with them, the civics education and engagement program. It's really yielded strong leaders in the community.
So this is an opportunity for the high school students to work with your clients?
To receive an advocacy education program at the center. So they learn about social justice issues, community issues, leadership, speaking out and loud in front of in public, and then can do a public service announcement or whatever project they really feel empowered to do, and then present it to the community. They've presented to the faculty at Mamaroneck High School. And it's just it's beautiful to see that kind of come full circle when you're helping the parents and then their children.
I want to ask you, Gail, about the workers part, since that's your area of responsibility, but we already have a question from a viewer, and I'll read it. It says, what is the biggest challenge that you face as a nonprofit? You might be the perfect person to answer that.
What is the biggest challenge that we face? Well, I think part of it is funding.
Yeah.
Funding is it could be a challenge, especially once we have identified a program that is very successful and needs continuity, and just securing that funding on an ongoing basis.
And that means being able to pay someone to handle that program? Or is it more than that?
It's much more than that. It's really just to hold the whole operation. You know, we're talking about just general operating expenses. That's
For the
hard
center.
to secure for the center, and also to deliver the services. The advantage that we have now is like Jirandy and Janet, who have certain expertise that they can guide each department. But I think that's the biggest challenge is secure funding. And on that note,
And I would just also add
Yes.
that, like, because we're in Westchester and we're a nonprofit in Westchester, Westchester is relatively small and there isn't a huge pot of money in Westchester, so we're all competing for services and funding. And, you know, I think that we really appreciate and value our partners, and that's why we work collaboratively with them. But, you know, when a grant comes out or an RFP comes out, it's like, oh, who's going to apply
Yeah, can
for
we
it?
get that?
Yes.
Yes, can we get that?
Yeah.
I'm sure then you work closely with Senator George Latimer and Steve Otis,
Absolutely.
our representatives.
We
yeah.
do. We
And
do.
what about federally? Our New York senators and representatives, is that, or do you just
Well-
stay locally within New York?
No, we do. We do work statewide, and actually, we have a very fantastic program with Governor Cuomo through the Office of New Americans. We are a consortium partner for the Opportunity Center, which naturalizes new Americans and provides support for English learning. So we do the ESOL part, the English for Speakers of Other Languages, and have a really strong program. So we're so excited to be a part of that Opportunity Center through Governor Cuomo.
Let's get to workers.
yes, let's get to workers.
Since jobs is the topic that, well, the presidential election, they're all talking about jobs.
Yes, they are. I just want to add something to
Sure.
what Jirandy was saying about there's a lot of wealth here in Westchester, and people wonder, well, you know, why are these low-skilled workers in Westchester here in Mamaroneck? But a lot of our workers, they are domestic workers, and so bringing them into the worker center is very important, one, because we want to teach them self-advocacy. You know, they're new here, or maybe they're not new here, but for instance, they don't know that they have rights as domestic workers, such as overtime. So that's one part. Another thing that we're doing with domestic workers is we train them with CPR, AED, that kind of thing. Also, green cleaning. It seems like that's the latest trend.
Using the right types of products that are friendly to the
Yes.
environment.
Yes, and then also for men and women, we offer OSHA 10 because it's very important for all workers.
And that's safety.
Safety. I was just going to say that
Yes.
for them to be properly trained and to know, you know, what are the risks if you're not taking precautions. And so that's pretty soon. We will have 2 programs, one for CPR, AED for domestic workers, and then also the OSHA 10 for male workers. Another thing that we do at the Worker Center is we provide a service for resume building. That's very, very important. So they're learning all these skills, how to prepare a resume. We also have, it's called a hiring hall. So we're not an employment agency, but it's an opportunity for people to come in and seek employment, whether it's online or whether it's a homeowner or maybe a restaurant or a business seeking workers, whether it's long-term, short-term, or just a one-day job. So it's a clearinghouse.
And is the best way to do that by phone or by physically going to the center?
Well, if you are a worker, it's best that you come. It's all
Yes.
we need to know who you are.
Yes.
There's proper screening, intakes, and if you are an employer, what you should do is just come or call.
Is that a free service, by the way, to employers
Yes, it is.
Yes.
and to the workers?
Yes, and I would say most of our services are offered at no cost,
Or low cost.
Yeah, very minimal. But like for immigration services,
For immigration
there's a sliding
services,
fee.
exactly. It's a nominal fee just to maintain the program, but most of our services are free of charge.
We should add at this point that you have a website and a Facebook presence. And so if people need to know how to contact you or some of the services that are offered, where should they go? What's the website?
www.crcny.org.
crcny.org.
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
I wanted to make sure we get that out. Do you also want to give a phone number?
Yes, it's 914-835-1512. And for the Worker Center, 914-630-7022.
Okay. Before I let you go, we had a story earlier in our program about tomorrow being the last day to register to vote. I would imagine that you are asked questions about how to vote. Yes?
Yes, and actually our clients, because I usually provide the immigration services, which is related to U.S. citizenship, and so we help them to register, to fill out the forms properly, and to mail it to the right places according to where they live. So we do a lot of promotion in terms of voter registration.
Right. Go out and vote, please.
Yes.
Best advice we can give people. And also, you had an update on the Open Door Medical Services Clinic. Do you want to tell our viewers about
Sure,
that?
absolutely. The latest update is that Open Door with Lindsay Farrell is going to be opening up a community center on Mamaroneck Avenue, just right across the Dip and Wash car wash place. So it should be opening up early 2017. So we're really excited about that.
Good. Will there be more news about that coming up soon?
Absolutely. I think once they just settle down and have everything set, they should be, there should be ads everywhere and flyers, and it'll probably have an open house.
And you're having an open house too, aren't you?
Yes. Speaking
October
of open
21st.
Our open house, yes.
It's coming up next Friday,
Yes.
9 in the morning.
Yes.
And
9 to
you're
11.
welcoming everybody, 9 to 11.
Yes,
Right.
that's the program, but everybody's open, welcome to come in and visit us, and we'll be introducing the executive team and the rest of our staff. We couldn't do this work without them.
And we should explain to people where you are. You're on Center Avenue in Mamaroneck,
Yes.
134.
134 Center Avenue in Mamaroneck. And if you're planning to come to the event for October 21st, just keep in mind that parking is very difficult. So, strategize and maybe walk.
Or carpool.
Carpool, yeah, that's a good
Save
idea.
the environment.
I just want to add one important thing that another thing is volunteers. Our volunteers are very, very important in the nonprofit, especially at our center. And, there's always a chance to help out. And I think one of the highest demands is for teaching ESL or assisting. So if you're interested in volunteering, you can.
Do those volunteers have to be fluent in Spanish?
Not at
Not
all.
necessarily.
Not necessarily.
No, they don't. I think it's a plus. It's always a plus to be bilingual. But if you're not, you could be a co-teacher with somebody who is, or teach a higher level. So no, not at all.
And I realize I just assumed that Spanish is the language that most of your clients speak. However, there could be others.
There
Yes.
are others.
There are others.
There are speakers of other languages. So we try to be mindful of that. And in fact, we try to speak English so that everybody is understanding, even trying to understand.
And you also, I'm sure, accept donations, yes?
Yes,
Oh, yes,
I
we
was
do.
just going to get to that part.
We surely do.
I think any amount that you contribute is very important. But you know what? If you can dig in a little deeper, please do so. And if there are any doubts about our services, just come, call us, and we would be very happy to give a tour. And also, come visit us. Come see for yourself what is it that we're doing for the community. And it's not just Spanish-speaking for the Spanish-speaking community, it's really for the entire community.
Absolutely.
So I encourage everyone to come and visit.
Right. And if you'd like to donate, just visit our website. There's a button where it says donate. There you go.
Well, Gail and Jirandy and Janet, thank you so much for coming out tonight and spending some time with us and talking about the Community Resource Center. We welcome you to come back again.
Thank you.
Thank
Mike.
you.
And
Thank you.
folks, don't go anywhere. We have more of the Local Live coming up right now.
This week in sports, the Mamaroneck boys soccer team capped off homecoming weekend with a tight match against New Rochelle. With the score tied, defender Thomas Howes stopped 2 Huguenot scoring attempts in the LMC Varsity Sports Play of the Week.
And kicked forward by Neuro towards the goal. And it'll be headed away at the last second. What a play! And again, 2 in a row! What saves there by Thomas Howes. Thomas Howes with the biggest 2 saves you will see, as off his line and away from the goal was Dante Rhodes. And Howes headed it away. If he uses his hands, that's a red card. Instead, he heads it out not once but twice. And that's a Play of the Week nominee.
This week, Estancia Buenos Aires Argentinian Steakhouse is in the spotlight.
Nestled in the middle of Larchmont Avenue is Estancias Buenos Aires, a beautiful Argentinian restaurant that immerses you in the Argentinian culture and offers delicious food from skirt steaks to empanadas, and you won't be disappointed. Located at 150 Larchmont Avenue, Estancia Buenos Aires is decorated in such a way that the moment you enter the restaurant, you'll feel like you're stepping into a little cafe in Argentina. As a family-owned restaurant, you will personally be greeted by husband and wife, head chef Gerardo Piolega and co-owner Edelmira Piolega, who will make you feel comfortable and at home. It's a perfect place to take a romantic date, and from the delicious array of food and wine assortments, your meal will be accompanied with Argentinian music and displays of Argentinian tango and its culture. I sat down with head chef and owner Gerardo Piolega to learn more about his Argentinian roots and what his restaurant has to offer.
I came to America 15 years ago, and this was one of my dreams, so this came true. Well, this is a tradition from my family. My father was a parrillero. We call parrillero is the man who is in charge of the barbecue, and we grew up in the same thing, and now we came here just to share a little bit of what my father used to, to teach us.
Estancia Buenos Aires also provides the best quality and kosher meats and has many options for vegetarians as well.
We have spinach empanadas, we have raviolis, spinach and cheese ravioli, we have canelones, so a lot of things.
Best grass-fed meat, we have the chicken is kosher. We try to get that kind because we know it's a better quality. Well, we have food for everybody, not only meat lovers, also for vegetarians.
The restaurant owners are eager to share their delicious recipes and steaks with the customers. Co-owner Edelmira Piolega isn't shy to answer questions about the Argentinian culture and wants restaurant goers to feel like they've stepped into Argentina and have fulfilled their travel lust.
We opened on August 10th last year, it's already 1 year, and we wanted to bring a little piece of Argentina to this beautiful place because we know these people in Larchmont like to travel and they like to know everything about Argentina. So we brought Argentina to them.
Estancias Buenos Aires has to be my new favorite steakhouse. I mean, just take a look for yourself. The steak looks so mouthwatering and the menu is absolutely delicious. I'd be a fool to keep reporting, so I'm just going to get right to it. Reporting for the Local Live, I'm Maral Ketwari.
You're watching The Local Live,
the only news show on Larchmont and Mamaroneck on LMC-TV.
Meet Sully, the friendly cat. Sully has extra soft fur and loves being petted. He may be a cat, but he has the playful personality of a dog and loves meeting new people. He would be a great fit for any home. For more information on how to adopt Sully or browse other adorable pets, go to www.ny-petrescue.org.
Remember, if you'd like to keep us on the air, support our program by checking out our website at www.lmc-tv.org and click the donate button in the upper right corner. We really appreciate your contribution.
We are always welcoming new interns and volunteers, so send your emails to locallive@lmctv.org and join us. We love hearing from you. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ronald Katwari.
And I'm Alexandra Garcia. See you next week for another episode of The Local Live.
Can the local live give my pet ostrich the power of human speech?
What? No.